Hi, I'm Ryan Tannehill, quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and I represent the Finsider with the PH.
The success story of Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans deserves all the attention. The Tennessee Titans established themselves as one of the most interesting teams of the 2020 NFL season. After spending years trying to find out whether Marcus Mariota could ever live up to expectations, the Tennessee Titans made a low-risk, high-reward move in the 2019 offseason that has dramatically changed the fortunes of the franchise. They traded 2 late-round picks to the Miami Dolphins for young veteran quarterback Ryan Tannehill. The quarterback, on the other hand, has gone from mediocre at Miami Dolphins to a star with a big contract. And this union hasn't stopped blossoming. Today, we're looking at how Ryan Tannehill changed the Tennessee Titans in the NFL. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you're a fan of the NFL, the Titans, and Ryan Tannehill. Also, if you'd like to join this month's giveaway of a brand new iPhone 12, then all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment the hidden message. Good luck! Tannehill's move to Tennessee was the best thing that could have happened for his career. Following Tannehill's 6 largely average seasons in Miami, his career in the NFL has really hit top gears since he landed in Tennessee. It's not every time we witness quarterbacks improve that much at age 31, and in year 7, but somehow the Titans have unlocked a former top 10 draft pick to the extent that he's become one of the most indispensable players on their roster. The reason for this resurgence is not far-fetched. Instead of having a whole franchise's hopes on his shoulders, Tannehill realized that he could just be himself and let the immense talents of the players around him have the spotlight. In joining a complete offense, Tannehill has blossomed into the player Miami had always hoped the top 10 pick could be. As Tannehill headed to a new city with an uncertain future, some thought his career might be gravitating toward a quiet ending. However, instead of fading out, Tannehill's career has taken off, and he has taken the Titans along with him. Just as we stated earlier, the quarterback's career resurgence owes partly to lack of pressure and perseverance, and partly to the plenitude of talents that now surrounds him. In addition to the rookie A.J. Brown, a deep threat receiver whose production spiked after the Titans' QB switch, Tannehill leans on Pro Bowl running back Derrick Henry, the 2019 league rushing leader whose legs drove the Titans to victory against New England. He also has Titans coach Mike Vrabel and a play-calling star on the rise in the first-year coordinator Arthur Smith on the side. How did it start for the quarterback? Tannehill was born in Lubbock, Texas, and grew up in Big Spring, Texas. He attended Big Spring High School, where he played football, basketball, and ran on the track and field team. He played 10 games as the defensive back in his sophomore year. As a junior, he passed for 2,510 yards and rushed for 922 at quarterback. He took his teams to the playoffs as a senior, passing for 5,258 yards and rushing for another 617. He had to miss 2 games due to a separated shoulder in the second game of his senior year. Tannehill also had 3 receptions for 62 yards and compiled a 39.2 punt average with a long of 84 yards as a senior. The quarterback received second-team District 4-4A honors for both his junior and senior seasons. Tannehill left high school a 3-star recruit. At Texas A&M, where he had his college education, he broke out as a receiver, nearly setting a new freshman yardage record in 2008 and leading the team in receiving in 2009. When he finally got a chance to start at quarterback in his senior year, Tannehill threw for more than 3,700 yards, completing passes at a 62% clip. His exploits were not limited to on-field activities alone, and he was just as much a force in the classroom, finishing a runner-up for the William V. Campbell Trophy, the Heisman for scholar athletes. In the 2012 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins selected Tannehill with the 8th overall pick, making him the first quarterback selected by the Dolphins in the first round, since Dan Marino went 27th overall in 1983. Ryan Tannehill became the 17th starting quarterback by the Dolphins since Marino, and only the 3rd quarterback taken in the first round in franchise history, after Hall of Famers Bob Grease and Marino. On July 28, 2012, Tannehill signed his 4-year rookie contract with the Dolphins, worth approximately $12.688 million, with a 5th-year option. On August 20, 2012, Tannehill was named the starting quarterback for the season opener against the Houston Texans. He finished with 219 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in the 30-10 loss. During Week 2, Tannehill improved dramatically in a 35-13 win over the Oakland Raiders. He passed for 200 yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions, as well as 14 yards on the ground to go along with a rushing score. Tannehill seemed to fix his tip ball problem by having 0 passes batted down in Week 2. By the end of Week 3, Tannehill had completed less than 53% of his passes and also had only 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions. Tannehill went on to set franchise rookie records for passing yards, attempts, and completions. He spent 6 of 7 years with the Dolphins as the primary starting quarterback, the longest time at the position since Dan Marino. For For the better part of his first 6 seasons in the National Football League, Tennessee Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill's resume read something like a fairly decent quarterback on a bad football team, one that had a sub-.500 record as a starter. That's what quarterbacks in the NFL have to face anyway. In most cases, they get much of the blame when the team underperforms. Quarterbacks also get far too much credit when teams are successful. Ryan Tannehill's not any different. Regardless of how you evaluate his days in Miami, he has to be credited for much of the Titans' revival since his arrival in 2019. Following the trade, Tannehill signed a 1-year deal with the Titans, worth $7 million, with up to $12 million in incentives. However, he didn't start right away for the Titans, because they were still stuck in the Marcus Mariota era. Quarterbacks also get far too much credit when teams are successful. Ryan Tannehill's not any different. Regardless of how you evaluate his days in Miami, he has to be credited for much of the Titans' revival since his arrival in 2019. Following the trade, Tannehill signed a 1-year deal with the Titans, worth $7 million, with up to $12 million in incentives. However, he didn't start right away for the Titans, because they were still stuck in the Marcus Mariota era. Tannehill took the field in Week 6 off the bench, and he immediately was paired with the best running back he'd ever played with in the NFL, in Derrick Henry. Tennessee went 7-3 throughout their next 10 regular season games, and qualified for the postseason with a 9-7 mark. In the weeks that followed, Tennessee knocked off the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots in Foxborough, and the top-seeded Ravens and league MVP Lamar Jackson in Baltimore before giving the eventual Super Bowl winners, the Kansas City Chiefs, all that they could handle in the AFC Championship game. How has Tannehill brought the change to the Titans? The Titans' resurgence has been rightly attributed to that of Ryan Tannehill, but how has it happened? Running early sets up the Titans for play-action passes as the game goes on, and that's what Tannehill benefited from in 2019 and 2020. In 2019, Tannehill led the NFL with a 140.6 passer rating while running play-action. Tannehill executed a play fake on 26.6% of his dropbacks in 2019. That was just the 9th highest rate among qualifying quarterbacks, but he took full advantage of almost all those opportunities. This play-action pass becomes even more effective when someone with the deep speed of A.J. Brown lines up outside for Tannehill in Tennessee. Tannehill was also the perfect running mate for Derrick Henry. Their potential as a dynamic duo was on full display during the Titans' 42-36 overtime win over the Houston Texans on Sunday, as the Titans became the first team in NFL history to have a 350-yard passer and a 200-yard rusher in the same game. Tannehill completed 30 of 41 passes for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception in the victory, and 3 of his touchdowns came in the first half. Last season didn't go as planned. Tannehill led his team to an 11-5 mark and an AFC South championship, but they went one and done and were bounced from the postseason thanks to a wild-card playoff loss at home to the Ravens. However, Ryan Tannehill has been one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL over the past 2 seasons. He also earned a Pro Bowl nod to go along with the best passer rating by a signal caller and the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year award in 2019. With that being said, we end today's video. What are your thoughts on Ryan Tannehill? Why do you think he's so important to the Titans? Do you think the Tennessee Titans have a chance to go all the way under Tannehill's leadership? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss our next video and other of our videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep safe.